So I'm here with Bob and Tony today. Bob, what branch of the forces did you serve in?
The Marine Corps.
Marine Corps. And did you go overseas for?
Yes, I was during the Vietnam War. I spent one tour in Vietnam.
One tour in Vietnam. Tony, you said you were in the Coast Guard, correct? Cool. And you were in for 18 years?
20 years.
20 years?
I sort of had I went in right after high school, did 4 years, got out, and went back in after 7 years.
Really?
Got my 16 for my retirement.
That's cool. That's cool. So obviously you liked it enough to want to go back.
Oh, I miss it.
You do?
As soon as I retired, now they're coming out with all these cool boats, ships, and stuff.
Yeah. So did you were talking? You were down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And is that where you served down in Florida with the Coast Guard?
For that, Hawaii. I was out on a riverboat out of St. Louis.
Oh, really?
I was at a small boat station. Yeah. My first 4 years, small boat station up on Lake Superior.
Oh, wow.
And then came back, riverboat, Hawaii, and then they put me on the Resolute 210-foot cutter out of St. Pete, Florida.
Yeah.
And then a land unit, because I retired out of Miami.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So, Bob, what did you enlist or did you get drafted?
Oh no, I 10 days after high school I joined the Marine Corps.
Yeah. What year was that? Do you remember?
1956.
1956.
On 27 May 1956.
Yeah.
The date I'll never forget.
Why is that?
My first day in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
You always remember that.
Yeah. Even to this day.
Yeah, and I went through the real Marine Corps boot camp. I went to San Diego.
Yeah.
My wife went through Parris Island. She was a Marine also.
She was also a Marine.
Yeah,
Wow.
It was Mom and Dad were Marines. That's how we met.
Tough growing up in that
because
house.
when I went through Coast Guard boot camp, I was HR head, baby.
Matter of fact,
they found that out.
He stood his first parade when Mama was pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, she had to attend a parade and so forth.
Yeah, because once they seen where I was born at Camp Pendleton,
then they're just,
that first week was like a hell week for me.
I bet they gave it to you hard. Yeah. That's funny.
Why did you join the Coast Guard?
Because Dad told him.
Dad said you're not joining the Marines.
You're not crazy enough to be in the Marine Corps.
You always want what's better for your kids. You know what I mean?
No,
it's kind of the way it goes.
Well, I was like I said, I was crazy enough. I was in the Marine Corps, and then I retired, and I put 27 years on the fire department.
Oh, we're here in the Ozarks, Lebanon.
I retired from the Lebanon Fire Department.
Oh well, thank you for your service very much. Was it just kind of was that something you had planned on doing going into the fire department?
No,
just something you just
a job that came up, and I applied and fell in love with it and stayed with it for 27 years.
Yeah, that's cool. I actually got to do an internship. They let me go stay on with them for 24 hours at the Branson Fire Department, and it was a trip. It was really, really cool. Yeah, mad props for those guys. And then a lot of sitting around, but then out of nowhere, boom, you got to go deal with something. You know what I mean?
I got to ride with the Kansas City Fire Department, and then I did with the airport at St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to stay there at the airport at the fire station. I've been out on the airstrip. The chief was showing me around, and he said, "Oh, look in the rear." And I was looking. There was a 747 taxiing behind us.
Oh, wow.
We were in the deal, but I stayed there and spent the weekend at the St. Louis Airport Fire Department.
That's cool. Would your, if you don't mind me asking, what'd your wife do in the Marines?
She was supply.
Supply.
Nursing supply.
Yeah. Man, what late 50s female joining the Marines? That you don't hear that very often. Not very often. I think that's the first one I've ever heard of, to be honest with you. You hear a lot of women that join in to be nurses or whatever and stuff like that. That's pretty common, but she was
right out of high school.
That's amazing.
Matter of fact, we went out on our first date, and 6 weeks later got married.
Wow.
It just happened quick. I I was going to get out of the Marine Corps, and I ended up re-enlisting and then putting my 20 years in the military.
Yeah. So you were in for 20 years?
56 to 76, yeah.
56 to 76. Wow, it's a long time. One tour of Vietnam. And then fire department. That's crazy. It's crazy. So did you see anything, Tony, crazy on the Coast Guard down in Florida? Because you hear the stories. You know what I mean about. And the only reason I'm asking is I just got done watching that show Narcos about Pablo Escobar on Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just nuts the stuff that they were doing.
Well, most of my Coast Guard career, I was with the AIDS navigation field, buoy tenders. The job I did in Hawaii was we took care of all the historical lighthouses there in Hawaii.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And I think that's why I like watching Hawaii Five.
Yeah.
These movies that are shot in Hawaii because they'll show the lighthouse. I know, well, hey, I took care of that lighthouse.
Yeah.
You know, because AIDS navigation, it's slowly being phased out because of today's
GPS,
technology,
all that stuff,
but a lot of them are historical. But there's people that can't afford, all these.
For the boats and stuff. Yeah.
And they still rely on me.
Yeah, but what happens if something?
Yeah.
Not to say that it would happen, but
Right,
let's say there was a solar flare and everything just got wiped out. The only thing left is getting
Most stuff I seen was when I was on the Resolute. We did 2 drug busts, stopped a multi-agency thing with the FBI, DEA, and stuff off of Puerto Rico on cocaine.
Yeah.
And then we were involved with the Grand Cayman Police Department where they stopped a Go Fast with 25 bales of marijuana.
Yeah.
75 pounds apiece.
That's a lot.
With that, and then we had 2 migrant interdictions with Haitians and the people from Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
We had to take them back.
Yeah.
And stuff, and that's not the most action I've seen.
Yeah.
And stuff, but I had more of accomplishment with taking care of the lighthouses and buoy tenders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that helps brings in your trades and commerce from the shipping traffic and everything.
Yep.
And if those stuff ain't working,
it needs to.
Yeah, and you felt an accomplishment when you built something or you fixed it and you backed away and sitting there and you've seen it.
It's got your signature on it.
Right.
Sure.
Even though, riverboat and construction tender and then 2 Asian navigation teams and everything. And because I was with one down in Florida too, and we took care of the whole west coast of Florida. And with the ICW. And stuff.
That's cool. So, Bob, did you, after your tour of Vietnam, did you go anywhere else overseas or just?
Oh, I put 3 years in Germany.
Went to Germany?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you like Germany?
Yeah, I really did. I liked the food, the people.
Yeah.
I did the interesting work.
Interesting.
I was in counterintelligence.
Oh, so you're in counter. So you were in stuff we can't really talk about then.
Yeah, I'm afraid not. I can tell you I attended a Nazi rally.
Really? That's crazy. Undercover?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did that. That's all I can tell you about.
Yeah.
I worked up on the border. See, I didn't put the full 20 in the Marine Corps. I put 13, and then I went through Army Intelligence School, and I applied and got picked up as a warrant officer. And I went in there and I worked in the Army Intelligence. That's why I got to Germany.
That's crazy.
And then came back here and was the field office in Fort Wood.
I bet you saw some
Oh,
stuff.
I saw a lot of stuff.
Because that's Cold War. That time period would have been right dead middle. I mean, that would have been right in it.
I played games with the Russians.
Yeah. I wonder, you hear, I can't remember who it was. Someone who was, I did a couple weeks ago, we were out to lunch, and he was also in Germany around that time period. And he used to tell me they would go, because the wall was right by an apartment they all had or shared, and they'd go up on the balcony and they'd drink and they'd just wave to the, and they knew the Russians couldn't do anything about it. And they just have to stand there and stare at them, you know what I mean?
We had offices all along the border.
Uh-huh.
And my job that I had, we had to service. I ran a shop that we did all the debugging operations and so forth of our sites and our military sites and everything. And I ran that. We also did photography and locks, safes, all that. We were technical.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's it's kind of, you know, we're talking about technology earlier. Now, you know, it's so much easier to do a lot of that stuff. But back then, that was like Mission Impossible type technology stuff.
Well, see, when I went to the Nazi rally, we had just got a brand new piece of equipment, a Sony television camera.
Uh-huh.
And it took two people to carry all the gear that it took to run it. And you used the big thick tapes.
Yeah.
But we were there to record the deal in case, well, just for gathering intelligence.
Yeah.
And we carried that in, and we filmed the rally because the communists came in and demonstrated, and then the riot police had to come in and bust that out, and I got that all on film.
Wow.
And matter of fact, the film we got to watch a couple times, and CO saw it, and next thing you know, it was at the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And I never saw it again.
Yeah, I bet. That's so crazy.
But that was interesting in Germany. I met a lot of interesting people.
I'm coming right back with yours. And do you need anything besides mustard, ketchup? and
I'm
mayo?
fine, thank you.
Okay, sir, do you?
I need ketchup.
Okay, excuse me for reaching in front of you. Sorry.
Thank you. That's cool. Well, I guess we'll get to eating, but Bob and Tony, thank you guys so much for your service and let me do a little interview with you guys. I appreciate it.
No problem. This was all for him.
Yeah. Well, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, be an old man.
We all
They told me when I got my last colonoscopy that, well, you're going to have to get another one for 3 years. I said, dude, I'll be 80 years old then. And I go, wow.